A Man Called Otto. Otto Anderson is an old man living in a quiet neighborhood, but his personality makes the place feel like a war zone. He is strict, easily irritated, and obsessed with rules. Whether someone parks incorrectly, breaks a neighborhood regulation, or leaves something in the wrong place, Otto immediately steps in to correct them. To the people around him, he seems like a rude, unbearable man who hates everyone. One day, Otto goes to a hardware store and buys a rope. Even in the store, he behaves the same way he always does, arguing over tiny details, correcting the staff, and refusing to be friendly. At first, it looks like just another day of Otto being Otto, but this rope purchase is not normal. Back home, Otto moves through his house with silence and seriousness. He has recently lost his wife Sonia, and his absence has left him hollow. The house feels empty, and Otto's life feels finished. In his mind, he has already decided that there is nothing left for him. Soon, Otto is forced into retirement. People try to celebrate him, but Otto shows no happiness. Instead, he lives with the same cold expression, as if even retirement is something insulting. He returns to the neighborhood and continues enforcing rules like a guard on duty. But behind the anger, something darker is building. Otto begins making phone calls to quietly cancel things connected to his life, and it becomes clear that he is preparing to end it. That same day, Otto goes inside his home and tries to commit suicide by hanging himself. He sets up the rope carefully and steps toward the moment, but before he can finish, sudden noise and chaos outside interrupts him. A new family has just moved in next door. The family arrives in an extremely messy and loud way. The husband struggles while reversing their trailer, and the whole situation immediately annoys Otto. Otto storms outside and begins arguing with them, pointing out permits, rules, and mistakes. But instead of becoming afraid of him like everyone does, the wife, Marisol, faces him confidently and does not back down. She speaks to him like he is just another person instead of a scary neighborhood bully. Otto takes control of the trailer problem and fixes it quickly, but he remains irritated. Even so, Marisol begins treating Otto like a neighbor she wants to know. She keeps appearing at his door asking for help, borrowing tools, and forcing conversations that Otto clearly doesn't want. Over the next days, Otto returns to his normal routine of judging everyone around him. But Marisol and her family keep entering his life again and again. Otto acts like they are ruining his peace, but in reality, they are interrupting something much more serious: his attempts to end his own life. Otto visits Sonia's grave with flowers, speaking to her quietly. This is where we see the real reason Otto has become this way. He isn't angry because he enjoys being mean. He is angry because grief has swallowed him. Sonia was the only person who made his life warm, and without her, everything feels pointless. The movie begins showing flashbacks to Otto's younger days. We see him as a serious young man who is denied a military future because of a genetic heart condition. He doesn't get emotional. He simply accepts it, like he accepts everything with quiet pain. Later, on a train ride, he meets Sonia. Unlike Otto, she is friendly, joyful, and full of life. She helps him when he ends up with the wrong ticket, and that small moment becomes the start of their connection. Otto and Sonia begin meeting more often, and Sonia slowly pulls Otto out of his hard shell. Otto isn't good at expressing emotions, but Sonia naturally brings life into his world. He starts falling for her, and even though he remains serious, Sonia's presence makes him softer. Back in the present, Otto continues trying to die. He attempts suicide again by sitting inside his car in the garage and letting the exhaust fill the space, hoping to fall unconscious. But again, he is interrupted. Marisol needs something urgent, and Otto is forced to stop. Later, Otto prepares another suicide attempt using pills. He sits at home ready to take them, but another sudden interruption forces him to step away. Once again, Otto is furious because even death seems seems impossible for him now. As Otto keeps getting pulled back into life, another unexpected visitor enters his world, a stray cat. The cat appears repeatedly and refuses to leave him alone. Otto tries to reject it, but the cat continues coming back until it becomes part of Otto's home. Meanwhile, Marisol's family begins needing Otto more. One day, Tommy gets injured and Marisol rushes to the hospital. Otto ends up helping them again, even while acting annoyed about it. At the hospital, Otto gets stuck with the kids and spends time with them. It is uncomfortable for him, but it also brings something back into his life: noise, human warmth, and a sense of being needed. As the story continues, Otto's flashbacks reveal deeper parts of his love story with Sonia. We see how she changed his life, how they married, and how she became the center of his world. In the present, Otto witnesses a man fall onto the train tracks, while everyone around just recording and watching. Otto immediately jumps into action and saves the man's life. The incident gains attention and reporters try to interview Otto, but he refuses all recognition. He doesn't care about fame. He simply believes people should do the right thing. Despite his cold behavior, Otto continues becoming more connected to the neighborhood. He helps people who are being pushed around. He fixes things. He stands up for others, even though he never admits that he cares. At the same time, the neighborhood begins facing pressure from a real estate company called Die America. They want to take control, force changes, and remove the old ways. Otto despises them because the neighborhood is one of the last things that still feels connected to his life with Sonia. The situation becomes more personal when Otto finds out that his elderly neighbors, Reuben and Anita, are being forced into assisted living. Otto learns that Die America manipulated the situation through their son, who holds power of attorney. Otto also finds out that Anita has been struggling with a serious illness for a long time, and nobody told him because they didn't want to burden him while Sonia was alive. This revelation hits Otto hard. He realizes that he wasn't the only person suffering. Other people were also carrying pain quietly. Otto begins working to fight Die America and protect Reuben and Anita from being removed from their home. Then the movie reveals the most heartbreaking flashback of all: Sonia's accident. Otto remembers the time when Sonia was pregnant and they took a trip together, expecting the happiest future. But on the way back, a bus crash changed everything. Sonia survived but was paralyzed, and they lost their unborn child. That tragedy destroyed Otto's happiness and turned his life into a constant struggle. But Sonia, even after all of that, still remained bright and strong. When Sonia returned home after her injury, the neighborhood was not accessible for her. There were no ramps, no proper design, and no care for disabled people. Otto became strict and aggressive because he fought to make life easier for Sonia. His anger didn't come from hate. It came from love and protection. But people misunderstood him, and over time, Otto became known only as a difficult man. In the present, Marisol continues pulling Otto into normal life. She wants to learn to drive properly, and Otto, despite complaining, becomes her teacher. He pushes her to overcome her fear, and for the first time in a long while, Otto acts like someone who is guiding a family member, not a stranger. Slowly, Otto becomes part of Marisol's family. He starts appearing around them more. He spends time with the kids. He fixes things in their home. He becomes protective, even though he acts annoyed. And without realizing it, Otto starts living again. But Otto's health is quietly worsening. His heart condition begins to catch up to him. Otto knows his time is limited, and instead of panicking, he prepares everything the way he prepares all things: calmly, precisely, and without drama. One day, after Otto passes away peacefully, Marisol finds a letter he left behind. In it, Otto assures her that his death was not another attempt at suicide. Instead, it was simply the end of his long journey. Otto planned ahead because he knew what was coming. Otto even leaves instructions for the cat, showing that he cared about every detail until the very end. After Otto dies, the neighborhood feels the loss. The man who once seemed seemed like a problem is now remembered as someone who protected people, fixed lives, and kept the community together in his own harsh way. Time passes and life continues. Marisol's children grow, her family remains in the neighborhood, and Otto's home does not stay empty. In the final moments, we see the happiest proof of Otto's transformation. The family that once annoyed him the most became the family he loved the most. And in the end, Otto Anderson, who once wanted nothing but to be alone, leaves behind something he never expected to have again: a home, a family, and a place where his presence will always be remembered.